Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chesscast. The Chesscast basically is a series where we review master games and we analyze them with players of a variety of ratings to see how different people of different ratings basically see the game. So I'm going to go around and introduce everyone here today. To the outside of the picture, actually, is one of our friends here. Um, you can introduce yourself, sure.
Hey guys, my name's Orion and I'm about a 1350 on lead chess.
All right, here's the next individual here.
Hey guys, I'm Juan, and I'm 1670 on lead chess.
And over here.
Hello everyone, my name is Ethan, and I've just climbed to 857 on lead chess.
All right, so we're going to be going over the game between Bobby Fischer and Michael Tal in the 1959 Candidates Tournament in the USSR. There's a fun quote here. I have Bobby Fischer's 60 most memorable games here. And in this game, there's a quote before it where he says, "This is one of the 4 games that Fischer lost to Tal, who in winning this tournament earned the right to meet and trounce Botvinnik for the world championship. In jest, the whimsical Tal signed Fischer's name in addition to his own when asked for an autograph. 'Why not?' he quipped. 'I've beaten Bobby so often. That gives me the right to sign for him, right?' A careful reading of Fischer's notes will reveal a clear echo of the strong emotions that engulfed him during this tense encounter. He misses a win in the opening and several draws along the way, demonstrating dramatically how a continuously advantageous position can abruptly be turned into defeat by seemingly insignificant miscalculations.' So unfortunately, we already know how this game is going to end, but at least we'll see basically how that turned out. So without further ado, we'll start with the opening. The position went e4, c5. This is the Sicilian defense. Afterwards, we have knight f3. Then we have d6. This is a pretty standard way to play the Sicilian. Nowadays, at least, d6 has been seen a lot, and hopefully the move that standard was played, d4. We get, I assume, a capture. C takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, and knight c3, and we have a6, and bishop c4. So this is the opening position. This is the Sicilian Najdorf. Pretty standard. The bishop to c4 is a little strange. Anyone have any comments on this position right here? Anything weird stand out to you?
Can you go back to the previous move?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this looks pretty standard. And Tal's playing as black.
Yeah, Tal's black.
And then he pushed on a.
Yeah, he just played a6. This is what brings you into the Najdorf, basically. The Najdorf Sicilian, you play a6 on purpose. It's usually to prevent these knights from getting involved on this square, because it can get kind of annoying if you let them get in there.
And also like bishop to like b5.
Yeah, bishop to b5. Although it's not really the end of the world if white plays bishop to b5, because you always have like enough things to put there. So that's not actually that big. It can be concerning if the pawn's like here, let's say, because then when the bishop comes to b5, you might even be able to push it again.
Right. But I just feel like in terms of like development, at least personally, I wouldn't play a6.
Then you wouldn't play the Najdorf. It does have very good reasoning behind it, because of this knight stuff, and you'll probably find that like a lot of times, basically the idea is actually like you might even be able to sack the pawn if you are able to get a knight here, because these forks become problematic if you trade pawns here. Like let's say this knight makes it in there. Right, let's say the line goes like, let's say you don't play a4. Let's say you play like some random move like this. That would bring you into the dragon. But, you know, let's say the knight comes here. I'm going to play some stupid moves. Let's say the knight comes here. Let's say you play like a passing move. And then this exchange happens. You get to take, right? And now you can like, I would say this is better for white because you can develop the bishop, threatening to castle, threatening to fork. You know, if you play a lot of nonsense.
Which are all solid moves.
Yeah.
Because now you're developing your pieces, and, you know, although you have traded your queens, you're able to advance and sort of make headway on your strategy.
Exactly. I mean, a lot faster than black, right? Like, again, we played some nonsense moves for black, but like the point being, if black doesn't do anything to combat this, it could be very problematic. The Night Orb kind of just gets out of all that nonsense really fast.
Right.
That's at least how I've seen it. I'm sure that someone of a higher level would. I didn't introduce my own rating. My own rating is about 2,300 on Lichess. In Blitz, I fluctuate between 22 and 2,300 on Lichess. Yeah, so that I play the Night Orb a lot actually. I'm a huge fan of the Night Orb, and it's become very popular in the modern day as well.
So what is since I'm practically a novice due to my rating, what is the what consequence do you get from doing maybe knight d5? Well, then you're just trading right there.
Knight
right?
d5.
For white.
Oh yeah, so you're saying if we played Knight d5 right now,
Right. So.
this can get really dicey because, I mean, black can potentially take this pawn.
Right.
Even though black is undeveloped, they can potentially take that pawn.
Right, and then you have the fork threat.
Yeah. I mean, you do have the fork threat. The problem is there's no way to get the queen out of that kind of defensive square. So I
Okay, so then a pretty dire option, probably the last one that you would make in that position.
well, I could attack the knight. Like I could attack the knight next.
But doesn't this allow for like more quicker like?
Yeah. It's not. I mean, I could even use this opportunity. I don't know if this is very good for black or not. I might pull up the engine eval just to be sure. No, black is a lot better here. Whoa, I didn't even. Oh, of course. You can't develop. You cannot develop normally here.
Oh, it's the check.
Because of the check winning the knight. So you'll see if I develop normally, you have check. I guess you have to block with the knight, but then they can take. After you take, they take. You have to block with the queen. Why would you take? Whoa. This one's weird. Can't I take the rook?
The rook.
Or the knight? What? Oh, I can't take the knight. There's a good reason why I can't take the knight. Yeah. Losing the queen. But I can. Why can't I take the rook? Let's see. I'm kind of interested now. Take the rook. Oh, you trap the queen.
Yeah.
Wow. Then the knight's gonna come back here. Queen is dead. Interesting. So this is an interesting line of the Night Orb to be familiar with because.
So let's just forget about the d5.
Yeah, I mean, but this is actually interesting to be familiar with because this is what black should play in this situation. But yeah, so white should not play knight d5 in general for a lot of reasons. Okay. So yeah, that was the Night Orb, and then we had the bishop come to c4. Anything else stand out? All right. Next with black, and this is exactly how I play it, e6. This looks weird. It's like kind of like a semi-chub, like you're just kind of like everything's on the sixth rank. But the concept is that like you're basically telling black, like you're telling white you have no access to these squares. And so I get to develop.
I also kind of see it like you're just giving more open spaces for like your bishops to come out and just give yourself like an opportunity to castle either side.
As black?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, but you will play in a quote unquote more passive looking way where the bishops will come out this way.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you're not giving white any way to like move forward directly. That's exactly what this move is for, by the way. Because if this move was not played, now the knight moves here actually have a bit more oomph to them. You're not threatening to take this immediately, but as we've pointed out, like if these queens, again, this push can always happen like thematically, trade queens, castle, whatever. Like it doesn't get easy for black. So yeah, this is just basically, yeah, I played this in Blitz exactly for what you said. You develop really quickly as black, and you get a lot of options as to what you actually want to do. Bishop b3 was played. Bishop b3, really? White played bishop to b3. Oh, okay. This seems a little weird, right? I mean, like, why wouldn't you develop more? It's kind of interesting.
maybe setting up for a later development that's stronger, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean the question though is why is the bishop so like eager to move back?
Well, it looks like black has a solid position. Um, I think the bishop moving back is just precaution.
Yeah, I mean I guess you're trying to avoid getting attacked by let's say the queen or something else. But why wouldn't I like my point is to me the natural move is like just bishop here. And that does happen, I guess, but it's just strange to like immediately move the bishop back.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this is just like because I know it's Fischer.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like trying to save a tempo for a later move. Like he knows that that d pawn's gonna be pushed to attack the bishop.
Yeah.
So maybe like that's like, oh, I want to save that tempo for later.
I guess that's true, but in this instance, right, you can't do this right now. Take. Oh, you can. Yeah, you're right. You can do this.
Yeah, that's
And
how-
then you would probably play this.
Yeah, so maybe he's just saving himself a move like earlier.
Right.
Or for later on.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So he just wants to avoid that tempo gaining move, basically.
But I would do what you played on like e3
Yeah, bishop e3 is a very natural development square.
or even
b5.
b5.
Oh, sorry, g5.
g5, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's usually what I do with that dark square bishop on like what's that opening, the Queen's Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
I usually do that bishop g5.
Yeah, yeah. Here, I guess it doesn't have as much oomph because where did black want to develop the bishop anyway?
That's true. Yeah, because like black's just gonna bring that bishop in front
There,
of you.
regardless, right? So you're just giving them a free reason to do that in a sense. So I think bishop e3 is a bit better in this instance, but in certain Queen's Gambit positions, I definitely can understand.
I had no idea like in terms of like saving a tempo ahead. Like that's just like that's why I assume that's what's bishop.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he's thinking that in really like far in the future, you're gonna get this pawn launched. If this gets exchanged, this diagonal gets weaker. If the rook is here after castling, you get a lot of pressure on that square, I would assume. And I believe that's how this game develops, to some degree. All right, so bishop b3. There is quite a bit of mention of variations here if you guys want to go through them from Fischer. If not, we can just move to the next move.
Well, white has just moved the bishop back.
Yes, and he's saying, I had no better luck against Blackstone. In an exhibition game at Davis, California, blah, 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 he played a completely different thing.
Okay.
So we could talk about that if you want, or we could just move on. Unless, if you're interested to see why he might have moved the bishop back there. If not, we could just play the next move.
Let's see what black does here.
Okay. With bishop b3, we have b5. The intent, I assume, is to just start a very quick queenside attack. Get the bishop fianchetto this way instead of developing in the more passive way. And get the knight out this way. So that's kind of an interesting approach for sure. I've seen b5 before. Usually I would play a3 here in a blitz game.
So white is sort of in treacherous territory on the queen side right now.
Yeah, a little bit,
Black.
though. Like, there's no immediate threat. Like, even if black goes here, let's say. I guess the threat is to go here, right? This is something you have to address in some way, shape, or form. Because let's say you play a nonsense move, and then you let this happen. You got to move the knight, and then they get to take here. And that's that you do not want to lose this pawn as white. You really don't.
What if you just push the pawn?
If I push the pawn first,
Before that, like h.
here?
No, so that nonsense move, right?
Okay, instead we push the pawn here. So if we push the pawn, you're saying what if he takes?
Yeah, and then just allow the trade. For the queen.
Allow the trade. Would you take with the knight?
Yeah, I would take.
Okay. Well, the problem is that you're actually not winning this pawn because they get to push.
His queen side's open.
Yeah, that's true, and you get the castle first. But where are you going to put this knight? Let's say, where would you put this knight? Like here, here. Definitely not here. This is kind of like leaving the knight stranded. You could put it here, but it actually...
Personally towards the middle of the board.
The downside being that you give him development.
Right, so then in the dark square to the left of the knight, where it currently
Here?
is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That makes sense. Okay, and your plan is to castle, but he can still do this. And even if you support the knight or you develop the bishop, regardless, let's say I support the knight, he castles, I castle. What do you really have for that pawn?
I guess not much, but you do. I mean, you do get ahead of development, like with all the other, with the knight on key.
But on the other hand, he actually made your development worse by forcing you to bring the knight back like this.
I think this is a perfect time for the bishop on the dark path to come out. And
I
sort of-
agree. But we just castled as white, so this would be
Right,
actually.
okay, so in response.
Yeah. So like basically, black is gonna get development. Let's say we try to bring the bishop out, like I don't know here, and they bring the knight out. I actually think I much prefer black's position here because I don't see the compensation for the pawn,
Okay.
even though the pawn's doubled. Let's see what Engine has to say if no one else has any comments. Yeah, black is just a lot better here.
Also, okay.
Engine eval is at like -3.
Right, okay.
So
Personally,
yeah,
I get a little bit weary when the bishop on the dark path is sort of just sitting there.
you don't want him to just do nothing.
Of
That's
course,
this
yeah.
one. But on the other hand, once you're castled, you don't really have to worry about that because this guy's gonna
Just
come
in the
out.
position that we were
Yeah.
in previously.
You mean here?
Right.
Yeah, I was saying, okay, you could develop the bishop here, let's say. Oh, sorry, we were talking about the other variation where the knight developed here.
Yeah, exactly.
Bishop here. Yeah, you could develop the bishop
Okay,
here.
I think you were suggesting earlier maybe the knight moves to that dark square, the one where the bishop, you just move the bishop to.
Yeah, you're saying bring them. But right
Yeah.
now I'm saying, what if black attacks your knight?
Mm.
You can't develop the knight.
Mm-hmm.
The point is that black keeps getting tempo moves, and you don't get out of it.
Yep.
And they just basically win, the development race, even though they also have an extra pawn. So you basically have no compensation for
Well,
that.
defend the knight.
Yeah, right. Defend the knight. The problem is even here, like now they can start.
Maybe not with the bishop, with a pawn.
Yeah, right. So that's what we actually went through before. The problem is again, they get quick development. You can bring the bishop out wherever you want, even here. They get here. Now they can castle either side. You can only castle here. You still have to get this knight out, which currently has no squares.
Mm.
It's not very. You don't get a lot for that at all, unfortunately. So I think you really want to avoid a queen trade down a pawn in like an opening battle like this. Okay.
What if you just support the pawn that you just pushed
With
the
f3?
F pawn? Yeah.
I have done that before. What actually ends up becoming problematic is the eventual pressure on this diagonal. But it's not a problem right now. If you bring this, you have the bishop here, and you're quite all right. And you might be asking, can I go here to attack the bishop through the knight? And the answer is you can't, because they can go here. Now they're attacking your queen. This is actually quite good for white. So yeah, f3 is, I think, sensible.
Would you want to castle king side or queen side? I never know, because anytime I move like a pawn, like if I move an f pawn or like a c pawn as white, like I usually castle on the other side.
I think both sides are trying to castle king side here. Black because they've committed too many pawns on the queen side. And oh, sorry, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Shit's gonna beat forever.
Like in this position, you want to castle?
My thing is like I feel like moving the f pawn weakens the king side, so I'd be like incentivized to castle on the queen side instead.
The problem is, like, you can see black's attack is already made for attacking you on the queen side. Black has prepared all these moves so that if you
Because
commit.
pawn's out
Yeah.
too far already.
So like you're asking to get attacked if you go on the queen side. Whereas on the king side, the only weakness you've done with f3 in this particular situation is this diagonal. Everything else is quite well supported. So as long as you know that diagonal is not in trouble, you can comfortably castle on the king side here. In fact, though, white takes it a step further. So after b5, he goes f4. He says, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this. Now, this is questionable, to say the least. One, I'm wondering what happens if you go here. Same problem as before. Let's say you shuffle the knight back. I still don't see why I can't take this pawn. So there's got to be some sort of counter-attacking concept here. Maybe going here. I don't really see it. I'd be surprised why Tal didn't play it. By the way, Fischer points out that here you don't really have to do anything. He castled in another game, and it continued bishop e7. I'm actually still surprised as to why you can't push attacking the knight. This is so crazy to me. Why can't you attack this knight? I want an engine. Anyone have any idea before we do an engine eval? Because I'm really confused. Why can't I, like, he plays, let's say he castles like in the other game that he's talking about. Why can't I attack the knight and win the pawn? The only argument I can think of is that black's underdeveloped and white has a lot of pieces out. So that's the only compensation for losing that pawn.
I mean, you can just pin the knight.
So you're saying hit here, move the knight. I guess you'd have to go here if you're trying to pin, right?
Yeah.
And then they take, and then you go here.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this now.
Well then, I mean, if I was in a position like that, I would actually push, what was that? F?
F?
Yeah.
This is F.
Oh no, my bad.
C?
C, yeah, I would push C to attack the D pawn.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say I see, you can't en passant.
Right.
Well, no, you can't. So what if they en passant?
I mean, you can knight takes.
And then let's say I just move the knight back.
Is this horrible? I mean, I think this is like pretty.
My point is that black still is up a pawn. The structure is very strong. The only thing you can argue is that development-wise, black is underdeveloped. But how do you take advantage of that in this situation?
I don't know. Exploit the queen side.
Right,
Blow
but
wide open.
concretely how? I don't see any way to like make progress fast enough. The moves that black's gonna play are like get the bishop out here, here, and then cast.
Your pieces are already like aligned towards the king side, so
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Your pieces are gonna be ready to pounce in that direction. But is it enough for this pawn chain right here? That's a nice pawn chain.
yeah. I don't think about like pawn chains. I just see like his weakness is his queen side. So that's like what I'm trying to figure out. Like how do we exploit that?
But you know that additionally, a weakness could become a strength. Like let's say they develop the bishop. I would even consider doing it here. I guess it is a little awkward to develop, but like let's say that black develops the queen side. Now you have the open b file as well, which is not assailable because of this bishop. But now that puts pressure on the bishop, and if this bishop moves, now this pawn behind it is weak. So sometimes, and this actually happens in stuff like it's called the Banco Gambit, where you sacrifice a bunch of pawns in order to get yourself open files. And so like this seems like another situation where you're both up a pawn and you have open files on the queen side. I wouldn't say that the queen side for black is actually worse. In a sense, it's actually easier to use the queen side because you have more space.
I mean, to me also, I like that. Like let's say like you play like bishop to like c2, like light square bishop to c2.
Right, you're planning this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then you can even do like a b3 and then put the dark square on b2 and then y.
That's true. That is true. That is a concept like here, right? Yeah. I still don't think it's enough for the pawn, but I can see where you're coming from. Usually just when if this pawn was not here, I would say that all those plans are a lot more like they give you the compensation.
Yeah.
But I'd say if we look at the eval in this sort of position, oh wow. Fuck me, what is that? What is that?
I would never.
What the fuck is that?
I was going to say like bishop to, I think that's e4.
Yeah.
Before the knight move, so you're attacking the knight. However,
Bishop to e4.
Yeah.
This is e3.
No. F. Is that F?
F-
Yeah, F4.
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 Yeah, this is actually exactly what I was saying. You don't have to worry about that. You can actually get your compensation. Oh, we do it again. We do it again. But regardless, you still get your compensation in the form of developing the bishop and trying the castle. Now the only question is,
Why is that good?
what happens if we take? I really need to know. All right, knight takes, yes. Knight takes, I agree. Queen takes, I agree.
Yeah.
Queen takes, bishop takes.
Yeah.
Attacking this, I get. Oh, this knight's hanging. Oh my goodness.
I went through quite a bit of calculation for that. No, I'm serious.
You saw that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
That's
even
awesome.
before that will happen.
Yeah, so this is the bishop's not developed, right? In this case, when the bishop's not developed,
Yeah.
right? Why is this still good? Because all of that happens, but the knight isn't under attack, right? So here. Oh, okay. So maybe we can bring the rook out. Sure. You try to avoid all the nonsense ahead of time. Okay, but you still get all this, and now you're taking what? Now you try to leverage the pin, attacking the knight. This is insane.
Personally,
Wow.
This I wouldn't play this. You're still down a piece.
personally, I wouldn't do that bishop move that you did on the dark path.
I agree. I wouldn't naturally. That's an engine thing that they're trying to use the pin to attack the knight first.
Right. Okay. Well, you have the lowest rated person in.
No. I agree. I don't think it's something you should really do normally. I mean, I would take the knight.
I think the engine moves are supplementary to what.
Definitely. I'm just surprised that this is a thing.
But I mean, it kind of goes on what you were talking about with that last pawn chain. That knight sacrifice just disrupts it completely.
Yeah, and that's what you're going for. But still, here you're down a piece, are you not? Jesus.
That looks scary.
It does look scary. So let's say I'm just wondering, like, this is something I've seen, and wow. Okay, so you just pile up, and there's no way to ever get out of that pressure without losing the knight.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive. Okay, so this is something to keep in mind. A pawn chain that looks very stable might not actually be that stable. But okay, so oh wow, yours is the engine move too. Very nice.
I am the engine.
You are the engine. Yeah, I mean, that was my engine move and your engine move. That's very cool. Wait. Oh, you could just take two. Yeah, I think this is even better for this is now we have the situation that we were talking about. And this is why it would not be good. But if we play my way, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Interesting. But interesting. White is still better. White is still better in this whole continuation, even when you capture. So this is very good to know. Actually, you can give up this pawn in this particular case. You have enough compensation. Okay, but that's not what we had. We had so castles was engine recommendation. It's what Fischer played in another game. But that's not what he played in this game. So we had b5. We did not have h3. h3 is a nonsense move. So let me throw these away.
F4.
f4 was Fischer's go-to. Okay, let me. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me get rid of. Where was this? We had b5. e5 is not what was actually played. Okay, delete from here. Yes, we have to delete 22 moves. f4. is played. What the heck? F3? Oh, right. We talked about that too. Sorry. F4 was what was played in the game. All right. So F4 is really kind of interesting. And then, we have what we were asking about. B4.
Yeah.
And let's see what Fischer's idea was. So knight A4 is what he played. Anyone have any alternatives? I was thinking knight A4 as well here. You could play knight e2. You could also attack the knight potentially.
Is the idea like knight e4 and then maybe like b6? Like that's the threat?
Knight a4, b6?
No.
Oh, sorry, g6. This is g6.
g6, but I mean like
Two
what-
b6?
Yeah, is that the threat?
Problem is there's a queen right now. So that's not happening.
Or I guess like after like I don't know, dark square bishop to like
Yeah, like that would be eventually you can infiltrate here or even potentially come this way. If you can undermine.
I have no clue.
Yeah, but knight a4, knight a4 is definitely better than here because this is passive. If you bring the knight back this way, then they get to take, and you don't really have much for that at all. And you can develop, but this seems like you didn't get enough. Okay. So we had b4, knight a4, and then we had knight takes e4 as planned. And let's see. So we have any ideas as to what the hell, why we're doing this? Maybe the pin idea is still valid.
Like this, I don't know. Like now, now it looks like better for black.
You think so?
Yeah,
I would agree with Juan.
yeah.
Mm.
But I'm sure that white has some tricks up his sleeve.
I would say so. You can't play like this without. I mean, the first thing that screams out to me is this diagonal, as we talked about.
I would also say,
Oh, you could also be planning
get the queen, move the queen forward,
like here.
right?
Yeah,
or there, yeah.
Yeah, you have these three plans. Again, I like this one because it pressures the diagonal. Unfortunately, the bishop can come and block off the diagonal and defend the knight, so not ideal. The other thing I'm looking at is that you might have an eventual f5, and that will open up the scope of this bishop finally. So that's another idea. The problem with f5 I'm seeing right now is if I go f5, they might be able to go here.
So your plan doesn't work out.
I don't think so. I don't think so here.
All right.
All right, so let's see what the heck he was planning. So knight takes. Oh, he castles. All right, he was just like, whatever. Pawn's gone. Now, the question is where to put the bishop for black. You want a castle, and you want a castle now, because things will get bad if you don't. And this is another interesting point. Like, Ethan or Orion, where would you put the bishop right now? The dark square bishop. I mean, there's only one place to put it right now, but
I would Viancito it.
you'd fianchetto it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is the thing that I'm wondering about fianchettoing it, right? Is that you go here, you have really big holes here now. There's no pawns that can contest that so easily. But you would have a safer king with the bishop here. And we're not getting onto these diagonals anytime soon. Anytime soon. So I think that's a good point, and that's actually what Tal did. He went for the fianchetto.
So I'm basically a GM.
Yeah, you are a GM, actually.
Let's go.
So we had G6, which is actually a question mark move supposedly, so that's not good for some reason.
Oh shit. Never mind.
Correct is bishop B7. Interesting. So instead of for going for this at all, he says fianchetto this guy first.
I think that makes sense. Right.
Makes some sense for sure. You want to defend the knight on this diagonal and start developing pressure here faster. And the point is that I can't really attack you fast enough. You can still go with this plan later. And I don't, as white, I'm not getting anywhere yet. But okay, we had the plan to fianchetto. And then we had f5. This is insane. At face value, it looks like you're just losing the pawn.
Quite a bold move.
Certainly.
At face value.
It looks like you're losing the pawn. So let's look at both ways of capturing. If I take this way, what's the point? Oh, I see it. I think.
Can you just pin the knight?
Pin the knight? Yeah, but it's defended by a pawn now, and you don't have either pawn that can come attack it. So that's sort of why that pin is a bit weaker than usual.
I mean, this just kind of like that pawn push just kind of reminds me of what remember that variation we were looking at where the knight sacrifice?
Yeah, you're just disrupting the pawn chain,
Yeah.
right? But why are we disrupting in this case? I think for similar ideas. Because if you imagine the knight not being here, if you imagine the knight not being here in this variation, the queen here would threaten this. And
I really like the white bishop going to D5.
D5, yeah.
D5.
So that's an idea. And then let's say they move the rook, though. This is another
Oh,
problem.
actually, right, because like you get the attack.
Right.
Yeah. They still get to develop the rook, and here I still don't see it. And this is also in this other variation I was talking about. If the knight's not there and the queen were to do the same job, the rook still comes here defending this. So I'm kind of interested as to what the follow-up to that is. I do see what you're saying. You want to leverage this, maybe take the knight, and then build up pressure here. But
Right.
And this is probably also why the bishop here is a good idea earlier on, so that you don't have this. Okay. If we take this way, this is the other question. The pawn chain doesn't look as disrupted. The question is, do we have another sacrifice? Like, can we take again with the knight? Because this seems like very saucy. Like, maybe even queen here attacking this rook. And then you're actually threatening to bring the knight here now, too.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty, actually.
I guess you could still do this. I don't even know who's better here.
I like the knight to be...
Yeah, we can't do it right now, though, because the queen's under attack.
It is under attack.
Could you just take F7 with your bishop?
Take F7 with my
Deliver
bishop.
a check.
Okay, then king takes.
Oh, king takes and run.
Although you do get this cutie. Check. You win that.
There you
go. However, I still think that black is better here because you just gave up like a fuck ton of pieces to do that. I purposefully. I'm seeing a check here. That looks very nasty, and then they get to do this nonsense to you.
That is pretty nasty. Right?
Yeah, and there's actually a checkmating idea if you don't take the knight.
Ooh,
this one.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite checkmates.
Ooh.
I love those. So you actually have to take the knight there with the rook, and you're just fucked.
I would rage quit before.
Like, actually, here, it's mate. You take here, they go here. Get mated too, no matter what. So, let's just double check this. What else?
No, so knight takes, right?
Knight takes, okay. They have to take back, probably.
Right.
You could also try this. This seems pretty nice. Attacking F7.
I mean, I would just bring knight back to F6.
Well, you get mated.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
So you got to be somewhat careful. You could defend the F pawn and then just like go on with your life.
I really like for black. This is a great position.
You think this is a great position for black?
I just like where the knight is.
Yeah, and the only
obviously it threatens the fork.
What fork?
You don't see that?
Where?
Knight to G3.
Knight to G3.
There we go. Fork.
You take the knight.
Oh.
Those are tough. Those are tough to see. It looks like a good fork. If I ever push H3, then you're right.
Did not see the pawn there.
I don't know. You can get the queen in. You can find there's some interesting ways to defend this. You could do this. You can maybe even do rook here. But I'm wondering if there's just some crazy tactical idea that I'm missing right here. I mean, this one also... Oh, okay. This is what I was thinking. Sorry. Oh, yeah. This still works. Okay, you sacrifice the knight, and then you do queen here immediately. Threatening mate and the rook.
Yeah.
Rook here is the only thing that I was not sure about. But then you actually get to develop your bishop as well, maybe. To attack the rook again.
Yeah.
It looks quite nice. I would say it looks quite nice for white. The only downside is that black has this. This is the only move I was like, damn. Very weird. Anyone want to make any comments before the engine consultation?
Got that for you.
All right, let's take a look. See. Oh, Ethan's move. Look at that. Rook here, and then my move. Bishop takes. Ooh, that is so dirty. That is so dirty.
Yeah.
That is so dirty. Holy.
It's really nice.
Because we were talking about all these ideas, like using the bishop there, getting the knight out of the way to attack this rook. But seeing it all come together like that, that's nice. Damn. Okay. Interesting. But so we did not. Knight c to e2 was not played. We had knight a4, which is also the engine recommendation. Knight a4. And in response to knight a4, we had knight takes e4, f5. Right. This is where we were.
Didn't he castle or
Did white castle?
did?
I think so.
Oh yeah, white had castled. Knight a4, knight takes e4, castles was the actual continuation. Right, I put it in a sideline. It should be the actual one. f4, knight takes e4, delete from here. Castles is what actually happened. Hold on. Yeah, castles, g6.
Yeah, that's when Orion said.
Right. And then we had f5 for Bobby. Okay. We looked at a bunch of continuations, but what actually happened is the question. Knight takes... Wait, we had g takes f5. We had knight takes f5, as we talked about. This actually happened.
Plus,
This is what actually happened. Here's a comment. Panov, with typical Iron Curtain objectivity, commented in the Soviet tournament bulletins, almost all games Fischer played in Tal style. But all his trouble was in vain because Tal did not defend in Fischer style. Instead, he found the one and only one saving counter chance. Wow. Well, with that in mind, do we think he took the knight? If he takes the knight, I think we described how fucked he is.
yeah.
I think it's this particular thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Boom. You're dead. So,
So he definitely didn't take.
he didn't take.
These are grandmasters, guys.
These are grandmasters.
Very patient.
I mean, I guess if I was like, I would develop my knight.
This one just to see
On f6.
to here.
Yeah. Maybe to prevent that bishop move altogether.
You mean the? Oh right. Okay. And yeah,
Or bishop to b7.
bishop to b7 is also kind of sensible. You might still have this though. This is like kind of annoying.
But then the rook slide to g is not that bad because then there's pressure on.
Yeah, there's pressure. There's actually massive pressure here. I don't even know how you address that pressure. You can't play rook here. You got to bring like the knight back, and they trade. No, this looks so bad. And in fact, your idea was what came to fruition, but a lot earlier. He immediately played this. So that is
That means a genius.
yeah. So what does that make you?
Genius.
Woozy Tal stumbles into a dubious defense. Apparently better is d5. This is sort of what I was talking about earlier in the opening. You just consolidate the pawn chain immediately. But this is kind of surprising because you don't get this diagonal as easily anymore. Tal's going for a more aggressive way of defending. This is like the solid way to defend it. You keep the pawn chain.
I would say it's still the same idea with now, like you could still do the rook slide to g.
Yeah.
Now you have that pawn chain.
Yeah.
Um,
The only weird yeah, and they don't have pressure like this anymore.
yeah.
But okay, Tal goes for rook g8, which is apparently more sus, and we'll see why. So there was a good move here. Oh my god.
I see it.
What do you think it is?
Never mind. To defend the rook move.
Yeah, now as a counter
Right.
attack.
As a
basically.
counter.
This is insane. This move is. I'd be surprised if you found
Does
it.
it involve the queen?
Knight
No.
to h6.
Knight to h6. That's not a bad idea. But let's say they just bring the rook down. You're not. Oh, actually, then they can take. Not a bad idea, actually. So maybe let's say I'd have to take it. They would take it. Maybe you still get bishop b6. This is like really tough to deal with here. You say like, what is your bishop doing here? And then the queen's gonna come like here. Ooh.
But then what about well, something like queen to f3?
Queen to
knight
f3. Oh yeah, knight moves. Well, for one.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that one doesn't work because you have queen takes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can even take on
You can even take on
f7.
f7.
Like, because your rook's.
Oh, of course, we're threatening mate. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this. That sounds crazy. That seems crazy. I don't know. Maybe like queen here.
Now that fork's real.
Yeah. Now that fork's a real threat. Because now the bishop is defended, and you're threatening this legitimately. I like black better here. I think knight h6 is losing the plot a little bit because despite forcing this trade, that bishop's not doing anything there. Okay. No, this is a move that I wouldn't even think to play. But if you notice the comment, Fischer played like Tal in this game. If you're trying to play like Tal against Tal, what would you do? Now, Tal, for reference, Ethan. And...
There is definitely an auxiliary move that you can make that doesn't really involve addressing the counterattack to the rook.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, it doesn't address the rook directly. This is true.
What about, like, just knight
Maybe-
sacrifice on d?
Knight sacrifice here. I think this is a bit too much. You're just giving them. I don't know. I don't know about this one, Chief.
It's called giving up.
This is what you do in a bullet game with 5 seconds left. No, this is a move that's just like, what the hell?
What is it?
Hold on. Let us cook up a move.
Yeah. It has to do with the concept Ethan came up with before and all the stuff we've been talking about. It just doesn't look possible in this case.
Wait, is it literally the same move?
What move?
Like the bishop to d?
That's right. It's bishop to d5.
I was gonna say the dark square bishop, but that makes more sense.
Dark square bishop, where were you going to put him?
Ugh,
Here?
yeah, but
That's something, but it's not enough. This is defended. They get to develop.
Move is insane.
yeah, the other bishop's the star of the show here.
Purposely fork yourself.
I ain't seen that one in a while, I gotta say. Now, if we take it, I assume the concept is this. You get unforked into your own fork. You're also threatening this through the knight.
That's fine.
Let's see, did Tal bite? Did Tal bite? No, he didn't take it. He just left it like this, and he was just like, just gonna.
These grandmasters are like rated 600.
Bishop takes e4. I mean, that seems natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it is a blunder.
You deceived me.
Correct is finally what Ethan has been talking about. Just leave both your pieces hanging. It's just forget they exist. I don't think I've seen a game like this in a while. What the fuck is this? Every single goddamn piece on the board.
Language. Sorry.
You okay?
Ethan's actually a YouTube employee.
Yeah, every single piece on the board is hanging right now. But okay, he took.
Did Tal take the knight or?
I assume you have to, right? Yeah, he takes f5, yep. Here's another critical question. Do we take back?
Or do we pull it tall?
I don't see one here. You do have to be somewhat concerned. Like there are definitely like things lining up here if this pawn gets out of the way. This queen can get involved, which she can't right now, but it seems like black will be able to get towards your king side pretty quickly if you're not careful.
How about a queen push?
Where?
Yeah, just straightforward.
Here, here.
Or the white square.
What's the idea?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant the bishop on the dark file behind the bishop on the white. Right. So
Yeah.
now you're attacking the rook.
Right, so if he takes here, you could take here.
Exactly. So it's a nice exchange.
I was thinking about that. I think the one issue that I'm seeing here is that maybe black starts attacking you faster than you might. Like, you got to do this, right? And then, I don't know. I mean, this is like...
Oh, yeah, that is scary. Okay.
You could maybe you can get away with rook here. But I don't know. It just seems like very wacky. The queen's coming next here.
Yeah, okay.
But maybe this is the way to go. Any other suggestions? I was actually thinking queen here, because the queen here, if you go for all this stuff, first of all, I can consider queen takes, but the other one is I can take here, threatening to mate immediately. Thing is, there are like fine ways to defend it like this. So then the queen looks a little offsides. You could even play bishop here. Anyone else?
No, I can't.
So Fischer actually took here, which is not what is the best move. Apparently the best move is bishop here.
That's what I was gonna say, because you put a lot of pressure on
Exactly.
second.
And like, whose bishop is better, this one or this one? So yeah, why would you want to trade it off, right? Like, why would you take a completely undeveloped bishop and trade it off for a completely developed bishop, you know? So yeah,
Maybe he was afraid of the pawn.
yeah. The other option is also bishop f3. This is very safe. You get another defender for this. You're still like covering a lot of squares, and then these ideas might come together a lot better. Because now you don't have to worry about an attack on your king. So those were the two preferable options. Fischer went for a trade. I assume he took with the rook. He takes f5, bishop takes f5. Oh, he did not take back. This is another interesting point. Black did not take back. Very interesting. I would think I would take back like in a heartbeat. But maybe black's thinking he wants to attack this way. Do remember this is Tal playing on the black side. All right. So we have rook e7 instead. It's kind of defensive. He's trying to avoid any bullshit on the e file, basically. No rooks, no queen checks, none of that. and it keeps the f7 square quite well defended as well.
I would take h7.
You take h7.
Yeah.
Not a bad thought.
And then now if he moves a rook, you could skewer his rook and queen with the other bishop.
You mean like here?
Yeah.
You are giving up two bishops for the rook though. So not ideal. I think.
I just saw the skewer and I was like,
I like the skewer idea too. If it works, it would be great. Maybe even here, you might be able to just like be like whatever, and then the skewer comes with a lot of. It's not a bad idea. Oh whoops. Game continuation. Where's the game continuation? We had bishop here. Whoa.
And then he played what?
Hold
And then yeah.
Yeah, I just need to hold on. Queen h5 did not happen. But e takes f5. Wait, how did this happen? Hold on. Oh, hold on. This was not the game continuation. We had here. We had rook here. Hold on. Let me delete whatever is next. Delete from here. We had not knight c6. Delete from here. Oh my god. We had bishop here, right? Knight takes. We had rook here. Bishop here. Okay. Force promote variation. Wait, make main line. Okay, there we go. So that, not bueno. What actually happened? Sorry. Kind of messed up here. This is not what happened. He played rook here. That's this variation. Make main line. Then what happened next? Bishop takes. This did not happen.
He takes again, and then he moves
Black
moves his bishop.
Right. He moves his rook. Yeah, this is the main line.
Oh.
Okay, we were talking about this, but that didn't happen. Okay.
Wait, what is Black's response if you take and then defend with a queen and then threaten the skewer?
You take what?
You take the pawn like we were saying.
Yeah.
So he moves his rook to either square. Then you defend with the queen.
I was wondering this as well. Maybe he could also consider a rook here, by the way. I'm not sure if it makes a difference.
Yeah, that's what I was. Because that keeps the pressure on
Yeah.
the Chom G2.
You could still play queen here, though, right?
Yeah.
I guess now he gets this. And this rook can come in. Looks very sussy.
Guys, I'm not that experienced to calculate these things down the game like this. It's too overwhelming.
That's why it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying myself.
Crazy monsters playing crazy moves. Yeah, I would think rook here is better.
I guess Black's just faster at attacking.
Yeah, because forget about queen here. This is first. You could play this, but I mean, man, this looks weakening. If I could somehow get my queen on this diagonal like quickly, you're dead. Forget the skewer, like.
Yeah.
The knight.
You lost the game for a shish kebab.
Yeah, I mean, I could play the skewer right now, right? Wait, whose turn? No, I have to play this. Now Black gets a move, yeah. You can avoid the skewer, like, right now, just with, like, rook here or some shit.
I think being, like, 1350, I look a lot for patterns.
Yeah.
And, like, if I see, like, a Q pattern, like, oh, I can fork, I
Right.
can skewer, then, like, I'll kind of, like...
The calculation is just
I'll
gone.
put the logic of calculating aside and just, like, go for the pretty moves.
So the next level comes with, like, you see something that looks really right, and then you have to like, I know a lot of people talk about, like, gut feeling, and Tal was also a gut feeling player, but it happened to be that his gut feelings were, like, usually very effective. But the problem is, even with my gut feelings and even grandmaster gut feelings, is that, like, you have to look at the next step and say, oh, it looks good, but then there's this one kink that I forgot to address in X position.
Bishop to G5.
Bishop to
For
g5
white.
for white,
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, this is gone. This is not
It
happening.
opens up the rook file.
It does open up this rook, you mean, right?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea, by the way, because you can't push this pawn.
That to me that would seem like the best way to sort of defend this double rook attack right now.
Yeah, honestly, it's not that bad. I like it actually. Yeah,
Wait, that's just the skewer that we were talking about.
Yeah, it is the skewer we were talking about. And here, the reason I was avoiding it is because I was thinking, oh, they're doubling up here. But the point is,
Because now
blocks.
black is attacking the bishop on the 7, and then you could bring now you have your white bishop on g5 attacking black's rook on what is that E7?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, so what would you do as black?
As black, this is a great
Do you
question.
have to sack your rook for the bishop?
You might.
Or what if you just push pawn?
You might.
Oh no,
wait.
You can't. That's the
Aha.
point.
See, I like this move a lot.
I like it too. So yeah, let's say I sack. There's not enough. I was thinking this. But that's not enough. I mean, they could trade queens. And then, do this or some shit.
Now we have ourselves a game, don't we?
I mean, black is screwed here. White is much better.
Why doesn't white just threaten mate before
Where?
the exchange instead of trading queens?
So, the variation being here, how do you threaten mate?
Well, after you move the rook to the second rank,
It's white's turn.
now it's white's turn. Yeah. So instead of trading queens, just
To threaten mate where?
slide your queen over to the f file.
Okay, say here.
Yeah, wherever.
This is one of the really common patterns.
Oh shit.
You're gonna get completely soused here.
All right, that's good to know.
So yeah,
I'll take you to see.
yeah, this is a very common pattern. That this shit you'll lose everything, every single. Yeah. So yeah, you have to be very cautious here, but you can again trade queens.
Yeah.
And then do this, and here, I mean, you're up in exchange. You're just up in exchange for nothing. I mean, you're up in exchange and a pawn.
So bishop takes h. What is that? 7 is okay.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. If we have
Orren,
no,
what's your... Oh, yes.
yeah. Let me just give out my address.
How does he not know your address after all this?
I don't know. Okay.
Well, do you know my address, Juan?
It's
Guys, let's just share all our information and social security. And
Let me-
all that.
Can I get the engine's opinion here? Unless
Yeah.
you have another. Do you have another point, Juan?
is this white's move right now?
Yeah, we were talking about this, and then this.
Does the engine consider the bishop takes move the first move in the sequence?
Bishop takes h7.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
Well, actually.
Oh, did you see that arrow for a second?
Yeah, wait, didn't it?
It popped. It was at a low depth. At a lower depth,
okay.
it's like, ooh. Okay, well, yeah.
Like,
Before we do
skewer
that,
with the bishop,
Yeah.
actually, I was thinking something like this.
hold on. Queen here, bishop here, skewer. Oh wait, hold on. Wrong rook move. Rook here, queen here, bishop here, skewer.
Right. Okay. So then, this is a tactic I like to use. It's just move the rook down to e5.
Okay, so I move the rook to e5,
You want me to
and
see that?
you're arguing that I can't take the queen.
Yeah. I mean, well, you're gonna trade queens.
Even worse than that.
Yeah. That too. But that's just a little simple.
That's an interesting way to go about it as well, to trade queens. Okay, so what if I move the queen right? Can I move the queen anywhere good? All right, I have another interest. What if I pin the rook? Oh, there's too many attackers here, though.
That's what I'm saying. So that's like
That might be a refutation.
Do you have your stuff? Study stuff?
No.
Do you want to come to Panera? Sean and I?
Today?
Yeah.
Um,
I have work to do,
Yeah,
so pop me and have a conversation.
Maybe.
This is an interesting idea.
Where are you going there?
An hour. Do you want to go?
I'm down.
There we go. We have ourselves a squad.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Make music.
All right. Like on the table.
Yeah, tap on the
I'm
table.
sorry. Let's get back.
Wait, why wouldn't you take the queen?
Yeah, I would. But then there's like all this. There's this and this. Goodbye.
Damn.
Oh, should I
Give
save
check.
you guys?
Give
Should I
check?
go back and
Please save us.
Wait, can you go back a couple moves, Orren?
Don't give a check.
What check? Oh, this one?
Yeah, but then you just
Eats your bishop and you're fucked.
Bishop.
Goodbye.
Lalatov.
You're dead. You're dead, kid.
So bishop takes h7 is a bad move.
I'm interested though. I'm interested as
That's my move, so that's why I'm very.
Yeah, I just chat over it.
Okay, I'm actually interested. So from here, right, I actually think Juan's move might be top. Let's see. Ooh, it was for a moment. Ooh, even worse.
Oh wow.
What the hell is going on?
What?
Oh my goodness.
Wait. What is going on?
I was like, I agree.
Who made this move?
Okay, so queen here, by the way, there's also rook here.
Okay, yeah.
We don't have to do this
Immediately.
bishop thing. Yeah. Wow, yeah, okay. So like let's say I run my queen away here. Oh well, not there. Let's say I run my queen away like here. Oh, you lose your bishop. So this queen move is also not good.
So block with the bishop, it says, right?
Well, you take h7, he comes here, you just run that bishop away. But you don't get the skewer idea anymore. You are a little bit better.
So you just win a little pawn.
Yeah, you just win the pawn and you're like, whatever, bye. Damn. Yeah, so bishop takes h7, not a terrible idea. This is the position and you wanted to take h7. Engine recommends just this. I don't know why that makes you better, but we're gonna say fuck you to the engine and continue on.
Can we refer to Bobby instead of the engine?
Yeah, of course. I was just looking at that for the reputation. Bishop d5. We had rook g8, bishop d5. Bishop takes e4, e takes f5, bishop takes f5, rook e7, bishop takes c8. Right. So this is, I think we all agree this is not the way.
No.
You take your active bishop and you like throw him away. But I guess I don't know. I mean, this seems like it just gave black everything they wanted.
So this is what
This is what actually Fischer played, yeah. I'm kind of surprised. Because this is weird. Now it seems like you've just justified everything black did. They have a rook on an open file, the queen's coming in next, the bishop gets developed, and you're like, well, why am I here?
I mean, I guess there's like some ideas like knight can now be aggressive, like go to b6.
By the way, hold on, let me promote this variation.
White can develop his bishop, or bishop. Oh, actually, I mean, I guess queen can take on d6 too.
Right now?
Yeah,
I'm wondering if there's some threats here. Like, let's say queen takes here, I'm seeing this.
That's true. I mean, do you get checks? I guess
You don't.
There's no checks. Well, even before that, you can do like knight to b6.
Knight to b6? Yeah, I was thinking about it. Knight to b6 actually fails to this.
Oh.
Yeah, the knight's pretty sad right now.
Yeah, knight on the rim is dim or grim, however you want to put it. This is not easy to play as white. I think it was easier when that bishop was sitting on the home square.
So what does Bobby do?
Queen to
Yeah,
d6.
queen to d6. Not a terrible idea.
That's d3.
I'm stupid. Oh, we talked about this one. You ready for this?
Yeah. Watch this.
Oh, okay. Sorry. d3 then.
Yeah, this one's okay. But again, I don't know what to do as white here. Let's see what he did.
Bishop
Bobby.
You're right.
to f4.
You're right. That's exactly what you're Bobby Fischer actually, believe it or not. You are Bobby Fischer.
Okay.
Well, it's because I like getting my bishops out.
I agree. You need to get the other rook in the game.
I like to get your snipers out.
The ops. All right. Well, what do we do from here? Queen c6. Check. Queen c6. That's not check. Am I stupid? Yeah. Queen c6. Attacking the knight. Well,
Well, knight on the rim is grim.
yeah, we're gonna have to defend it with b3. I assume he plays b3.
Yeah.
But he's threatening checkmate.
Oh shit, he is. Oh shit, he is. You're so right. So what do we do? He plays queen f3. Wow. Boom, that happened in the game. You just lost a whole ass piece. What compensation could he possibly have for this?
Yeah, but that knight was basically just like a bystander at like a In-N-Out burger like restaurant. Like he's not really doing anything.
Why now?
Yo, such a surprise that I didn't dare believe my eyes, is what Fischer says about this.
I thought you were saying that. What? I was about to leave.
Well, why can't bishop take pawn on the?
Why can't you can? You can. I suppose you can.
What's he gonna do, huh?
I don't know, like fucking.
No, you can't do that. Checkmate.
You make a good point.
Rook.
Rook where?
E.
This is e3.
No.
E6?
Yeah, E6.
I assume you just take the free knight.
Not the check.
Oh yeah, actually that's even worse. Oh, you're dead here. Totally right.
Then to see.
You could take whatever.
Okay. Back.
Okay, so what did he play? What did he play? Bishop takes d6. Look at that! Bobby Fischer in the flesh right here. Bobby Fischer.
Well, yeah, we already got that far.
Yeah.
I know Bobby by first name basis.
Queen c6. That's what I would play, actually.
Pretty good.
I was thinking about this, but I was... Rook where?
Like white.
White?
Yeah.
Where?
To D1.
To d1? This one?
T1 or E1.
Wait, why wouldn't he just take black's rook?
I was thinking about this. This is why I didn't like it.
But then that's why you would have E1, right?
There's also, why can't I just take this is my other question. Now the queen's completely undefended. Because why take the rook, right? You're losing the bishop.
Okay.
Oh, I see why. Get wrecked.
And you're still down.
Yeah, so why not take the rook like you said? Why not take the rook? It's the first question. Bishop takes... Oh, wait. Hold up. Okay, wait, but what if we delay that and we take the queen first, and then we take this? Okay. The material count is actually completely equal here. Black has 4 pawns, white has 5, and it's a rook for 2
It
pieces.
was in this position that Bobby Fischer moved his king to the other side of the board.
Let's see what happened. I'm interested. So queen there. We had queen c6, bishop takes b8. Oh, this all happened, huh? Bishop takes b8, queen b6 check.
So this actually happened.
Yeah, this actually happened. Oh, that wouldn't have happened. All right, let me promote this. Wait. Make me in line. This happened in the game. Who looks better here? I mean, black's up a bishop.
Well, I guess the scary thing is now there's a check on C6.
C6, yeah. And that is exactly... Wait, no, that's not what was played. White played king to h1. All right, queen takes b8. Oh, like you said, there is a check on c6. This is also what Fischer played. You are Bobby Fischer.
Well, I mean, just
I passed the torch over.
Thank you.
The crowd was shouting and whistling with each move. Later, I was informed that many sports fans.
The crowd was farting and whistling.
Apparently there was like a soccer match or something that might have been canceled, and that's why there was a bunch of sports fans in the audience just like whistling and shit. That's pretty cool. The bishop c6 check. Many commentators believe that rook a to e1 was the winning move.
Huh.
I'm kind of wondering. Yeah, I mean, okay, obviously you can't do this. But, by the way, I don't know what you do after that. I can't. This one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty scary. You're threatening checkmate in one move right here. You're threatening the rook here. So I'd assume he doesn't take if you play rook there. Let's see what the continuation is. Tal himself confessed that he thought black was lost after that. But this saves the day, apparently. That's ridiculous. King d8, queen takes f7. What the hell is that? Hold on. Rook g6, queen takes f7. King d8 apparently saves everything. I've studied this position for ages, he says. It seems, and the best I can find is rook d1 check. King c7. This is ridiculous that you can get away with this kind of shit. King b7. Wait, where's king? Wait, king c7. Queen f4.
Yeah.
King b7. And then, I mean, what the hell do you do here? Let's see. King b7, rook d6.
Oh, so he wasn't greedy.
Well, if you take the queen, it's just a trade, right?
Well, yeah, but then also the pawn.
This is kind of nice. Oh, yeah, you could have taken the pawn first, too. You're right. But he's trying to do this to keep the rook kind of cut off. And then, let's see. Rook d6, queen c7. My good. The fact that you have to find this to make sure that things are not bad. Queen takes b4 check. King c8. My goodness. What the hell? You don't have this check. I can see why. Wow.
Protect the rook.
This is ridiculous. This is why I'm not a grandmaster. Okay, so queen b8, we had the check, as Juan pointed out. And what happened in response? You can't move the king. We'll point that out first. You cannot move the king because check is just game over.
So
rook.
Yeah, you have to block
And
with
then
it.
it's just mate.
Where is it mate here?
No, like before.
Oh, in the other one, yeah, you're dead. Rook d7 must have been played. So, rook d7, rook a to e1 check. Played king over. I would have gone for this maybe, but maybe you don't have enough steam. Maybe you don't have enough steam. Because what's next?
You could shove the queen in there, I guess.
Yeah, like, you mean black?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like put the queen here, let's say. Or here. Yeah, like what do you do now?
You can't. The other rook, you just move the bishop.
Yeah, exactly. And black is fine, up a piece. Crazily enough.
Look at the great wall of king, king, queen, rook, and bishop.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. So you can't really do that. He played rook ae1 check. King here, obviously. I assume he didn't block with the bishop. I at least hope he didn't. Nope, he did. I don't know what I'm talking about. Bishop e7. Oh, I guess we're going for this continuation anyway. Rook takes f7. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for. King takes f7. I assume he took it. Queen e6 check. King's got to go here. You can't go here because you lose the rook. So the king, but you go here.
This is nice for white.
It does look nice for white. He has a better position here. I would say, at least it seems like it.
You just give up a rook though.
You have to give up both. You did give up a rook to get another rook back. So you're still down a piece, but at least you have an aggressive position. Okay, so king e6 check, king f8. Yeah, you have to go f8. If you go here, you lose this with check. And that's mate, actually.
Wow.
So you have...
Wait, that's how it ends?
No. So he
Oh.
went here to avoid that. At which point, I assume
Take the other rook.
you'd either take the rook or you
give
can
another
throw in the
check.
check. Yeah, you can throw in the rook check.
But then, oh,
Not rook f1, he's pointing out, because of fucking king g7.
Language.
but then you just take the rook.
Yeah, you could still take the rook. King g7, but I assume the point is like you would go here, but then he runs here. There's no check to win the game. You would love to play a check on f6 or d or e5, but you can't.
Queen covers.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, you'd love to do that, but you can't. So that's why that doesn't work. So yeah, Bobby just went straight for taking the just took the rook immediately. But you're still down a piece. You're just down a piece. If black gets out of this, you're just dead. Okay, queen d6. Trying to trade the queens. The moment those queens are off, this game is over. Queen d6, queen b7. This is a weird place to put the queen.
Why wouldn't you give a check?
That's my thought. So you go here. I would assume queen here. Then you have this check, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I could like prepare to trap the queen, maybe like this, hoping for this. But then he can like move over. There's no checks here. There's zero checks. That's crazy.
Pawn move.
Where? Yeah, no, that's pretty insane. Okay. So he just played here. That was the first one I looked at too. Why not rook check? Same idea, I guess. Damn, there's nothing there.
What did Bobby do?
What did Bobby do? He played here of all places. Okay. Queen b7, rook g6.
I mean, that looks at the pawns at least.
It does, but everything is defended. Every single pawn is defended by something. Okay. Let's see what happened. So Bobby lost this game, as we know, and now I can kind of start to see why. You know, remember when you said pawn move? That's actually
I would probably do that if I was playing Blitz.
Yeah. So, but if you get to exchange everything here, imagine you exchange all the pawns, the queen, and the rook, it would be a draw. So that's sort of what he's going for. I don't know why he starts with c3, but he's pointing out black's extra piece means left with each pawn that's exchanged. So that's the idea. Black plays a5 supporting it. Queen c8 check. King g7. Queen c4. Oh, King c4. Bishop d8. This is a weird move, but I guess, what do we do here? What is the point? What is the threat?
Maybe he's just trying to swing bishop over to c7 and then line it up. h2 or something.
Bishop to c7. Oh, that's not a bad idea, yeah. That's pretty nice actually. As long as you're still protected as the king, yeah. This is a good concept. Okay. So we have bishop d8, c takes b4, a takes b4,
Pawn.
pawn.
Next move is a pawn move, I bet.
It is, but it's not the one you're expecting. Which one were you expecting?
Probably a3.
In fact, he plays g3.
Nice.
I guess he's trying to avoid this. But now this is like saucy.
Actually, a3 would be bad. Because then he just
Yeah,
takes
you
and
just
takes
lose
and
all those.
takes, yeah.
So he plays g3 to avoid this, but now he opens up this diagonal for his king, which I assume will probably be the death of him, but we'll see. g3, creating losing chances. He says, I don't see how black can make any progress after queen e4. So let's say bishop here. Oh, we can trade queens. This would lose, actually.
Ooh.
So you can't take. So you go king here. Now you can trade queens, and you can create a draw here. I'd say pretty calmly, 2 pawns up as white. I mean, you're down a bishop, but if all those pawns get traded, the rooks get traded, the game is over. So I like Bobby's idea, but this did not get played. He played g3.
Wait, that's Bobby comment.
Bobby
What he
commenting,
should have done?
yeah. g3. And let's see. We had g3, queen c6 check. Excuse me? Oh, going for the queen trade? Really? Rook e4. Oh my god. The hell is this?
That is quite tactical. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, but why not just take the queen? I guess it keeps your rook actually gets activated by doing this. Otherwise, if you went for this trade, black's rook is getting here faster than yours is. This is really creative.
I like what Bobby did.
Yeah. This is very creative. Okay. Queen c6 check, rook e4, queen takes c4, rook takes c4. Rook b6, protecting that one saving grace. And Bobby says he overlooked this. Now black has winning chances. He had planned on a draw after bishop e7. Why? Because of, let's see, bishop e7, a3, and after this exchange, apparently this is a draw, and I can see why. If you, again, the bishop and the rook against a rook is still a draw, because the rook is a good enough defensive piece that as long as you don't get your king trapped in some weird way, and you trade off that one pawn, you get a full draw here. Okay, but in this instance, the difference is when you play the rook here, when you play this, they can push. And now that pawn's just wedged there forever. And then they can start to target the pawns here this way. This is really critical because this pawn is not going to disappear. Okay, so this is why it gives... he didn't see this move, Bobby, basically. So now with king g2, he's just going to run over there and like pray that he can do something. King g2, king f6, both kings running towards the middle now. King f3, king e5, king e3. It's just a race now. a3 is always met by b3, as we said. Bishop g5 check. King e2. King d5. King d3. Bishop to f6. Yeah, it's tough. I guess you have to push the pawn, right? b3.
That's not bad. It also prevents the other pawn from moving.
I would think so, yeah. Oh, but maybe you get to start targeting it like this. Oh, but then you would lose this. Yeah. Oh, okay, I see. If you go here, they have this. Now you're dead. This is coming next. But I guess, wait, what if they go here now?
Can white catch the pawn in time? If black takes?
Let's see. I think so. I assume you take with
The rook.
the rook.
Yeah. Yeah.
White,
No,
you
no.
think white winning?
No.
Just
I think so.
Move the king over, take the pawn, and then.
So the concept is this: rook here. I think black will start going for these pawns now. So you go here. Question you have to ask yourself is, can black get to these pawns before I can get to mine and push? I still think that you're better off here.
You take, yeah. Take.
Yeah, no, white's much faster here.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, white's faster there. Winning, losing. Wait. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you can't play bishop there. I'm wondering what the winning idea is after this. What is the winning idea? Anyone see the winning idea?
I close your queen, my friend.
It's black to move.
It's black to move. Yeah, because of that bishop move, it just doesn't work. You could do it this other way. You could do it this way.
Sorry.
You could do it this way.
I don't get what that does.
Well, you can't ever do this. Right? And so the next idea is going to be to target this pawn. And you have to defend it, and then I think you can infiltrate that way. Yeah, if, like, let's say you do, like, okay, whose turn is it? I don't know. You go here and anticipating this. Like, what do you do as white? Or you don't even have to use the rook here. You can use the rook on the other side now. Start targeting it this way. Because this is stuck now. The problem being
Attack the bishop.
attack the bishop. Let's say you go like here. I mean, you could threaten a number of things, but I would assume that there's a way as a grandmaster to win this. And engine.
You just lost your rook.
Why? Oh, obviously you can't do that. Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, you can see this is winning for. Let's see how you win this. I actually don't know. Check. This is really weird, but theoretically it does win. This is really stupid looking. Okay, whatever. I assume there's some reason why all of this has to be played, but you can see from the engine eval that white is lost here. Not exactly sure why, actually. But apparently all that has to happen. Regardless, we didn't have this b3 move. We had rook back. After rook back, rook c2. White might be able to draw this ending, but it's an ugly defensive chore. Rook b2 is more passive. Oh, I wanted to avoid mobilizing my queen. b3. Yeah, so apparently b3, bishop e7. He's saying rook d4 check preserves his drawing chances. Let's see if the engine agrees. I don't know, Bobby. Looks like he's still lost here, but it's probably a nightmare to figure out. Okay, yeah, I understand. So actually this is the better approach. This is too passive. And we will see why. This ends pretty soon here. So we have bishop e5. And then we have rook e2. Then we have rook f6. We have rook c2. He's just shuffling now. He doesn't really know what to do. Rook f3 check. King e2. Rook f7. King d3. Okay. Bishop d4. Ooh. This is what we like to call Zugzwang.
That's what it's called.
Zugzwang is when you, or Zugzwang
Uh-huh.
is when you basically leave white with no good move. You leave the other side with no good moves. Because, like, what do you do here?
That's white.
Yeah.
Resigned.
You could try to push these pawns, but you look pretty. It's pretty much over here. All right, let's wrap up this game now. So we have bishop d4, a3, trying. Sorry, a3. Obviously, doesn't take that. b3, rook c3. Wait, rook c8. Sorry. Bishop takes b2. Oh, this is so lost. Rook d8 check. King c6. Rook b8. Rook f3 check. King c4. Rook c3 check. King b4. King c7. Rook b5. Bishop a1. A4. b2. Game over. Bobby resigned here. The final trick, you cannot take this because you queen, and this is check on the king. That's saucy.
Well played, Tal.
And this is how Michal Tal beat Bobby Fischer in the Candidates tournament and went on to beat Botvinnik to become the world champion.
Very well played.
Very well. Crazy game. Crazy game.
We done?
Yeah, this is it. This is the final position. Dude, look at this last move. Plays b2.
Okay.
And you can't take the rook. The queens and it's check on the king.
Wait, whoa, go back.
a3, b2. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. The only question is, what if you go here? And then this. This becomes a queen next.
What if you do rook c5?
Here?
Yeah. Before
Rook c5 keep.
before you move the king. Yeah. Yeah. Well then it's just like, yeah, it's a rabbit chase.
Yeah, but I mean it's over. You have a queen. He doesn't.
Yeah, that's game.
Alright. That's the end of Chesscast number 1. Stay tuned for next week.
Nerds out.
This reminds